Yes, I promised you last time. I promised you that we are going to discuss about the systems. I took you through the process of what exactly you need to do. I think today, I know it's a little bit late, but we are going to talk about the system. You remember what we mentioned last time? We mentioned the land. We mentioned water. We also mentioned uh, it was land, water, management, and feeds. So actually, and the system of goat farming, and one of the systems were zero grazing, free range, semi-intensive. Um, yeah. So actually, today let me discuss the zero grazing. For those people who don't have big lands, uh, this is zero grazing. I want you to write down the following, what you need to have when you're preparing or when you're starting goat farming, mostly on zero grazing. Zero grazing, that is the system whereby your animals are in one place. You just provide the grass to them to eat, and then they convert a lot. What do you need when you're starting those system, that system of zero grazing? You really need a house, of which, when we are building a house of zero grazing, it can as well be like for the free range or semi-intensive. But the only change or the only difference that you can have, one, you can only have the difference you can have is the feeders. So like the free range in the exercising yard, you cannot have the feeders. You cannot even have the actually you cannot have the feeders. The animals just come in, they move around in the exercising yard, because remember the portions. I think let me also talk about the portions. You don't need to have a very expensive house, no, but you must have a good house or a technical house. What are the components of a technical house? Is the spraying yard where you spray your animals from, is the exercising yard where you have your animals to move freely around the area where they want to spend most of their time. Then also, we also talk about the shelter, um, um, the shelter where they run if it rains. Then also talk about the the kids pen where we keep the kids. Remember, I'll take you through all those management practices of how do we use all those portions. So in actual sense, zero grazing, you only need to have a technical house, of which you need to have exercising yard, you need to have uh, the shelter, you need to have the kids pen and the exercising yard, even the spraying yard. Those are the portions that we really need. So when you're starting, I advise you to have those prepared, have the house prepared. I think next time when I break, I'll talk about the housing, but that is what you're supposed to do. Like the way I have talked about zero grazing, I'm going to talk about what is the main component of zero grazing. The main component of zero grazing for goats is feeds, shelter, and the management. So now I'll break the shelter. I think next time, let me break the feeds today. So what feeds do you need in that sense for zero grazing? The feeds that you need, let's say you have an acre of land. If you have an acre of land, you can use that an acre of land to feed over 50 and above goats. You ask me how. If you have an acre of land, and that an acre of land, sorry, and that an acre of land, you plant what they call the chorus Ghana, the grass I always give you. In chorus Ghana, we are looking at there is some protein, there is carbohydrates, there is fiber, and if you dry it, you also have the dry matter in it. So that means when you're planting the chorus Guyana, I've really showed you that grass many times. If you're planting chorus Guyana, added some legumes, which we call the centrosema, which moves and roll itself around the grass. So when you cut and increase on the level of the protein of that grass. Then if you plant, let's say, half an acre of that, you also plant half an acre of maize, because the reason why we want also maize to be part of this is because it has a very high outturn. So that means if by the time you harvest the chorus can be ready to be harvested at 2.5 months or 2 months. If it's cut for the second time, but for the first time you have to wait for it for 3 months, and then maize you harvest it in 2.5 months if it is for 3 months. So that means you will have the two things. So with zero grazing, there is nothing much in it, and actually the advantage of it is that even the diseases are minimal because those animals are not moving from one place to the other. Worms are even also minimal just because they are not allowed to move from one place to another. So actually, I think you've gotten some few stuff today to learn, and then I think next time when I come, I'll break up the housing and know what exactly you need to have in the housing, what are the dimensions of the house, what are the dimensions of the troughs, like those kind of stuff. So, but today, I think we have learned what do we need to start with when we are doing zero grazing, which system. If you have a smaller land, you are looking at zero grazing. What do you need to plant? You need to plant the grasses. Which grasses you need to plant? We talked about chloris, we talked about centrosema, we talked about maize silage or maize. So those are the three things we've learned today. And I think you don't have many questions. You just need to go through it. You can even or either post your questions. If I can even try to make sure that yeah, you have not missed. You have not missed. I reached late, and I reached late, but as since I promised you people that Saturday evening, it is our day to have a live chat, to have a live discussion. I had to make it. So I've decided to break the few, but next time on the zero grazing system, we shall be discussing about the housing. Today we've known what plants we need to prepare, and then I'll also, I think, find time and discuss with you how to make hay and how to make silage. But when you check my videos, that is already explained. So I'm trying to enlighten more in what we are supposed to do. So actually, just allow me to end up this live chat here. I think next time or next Saturday, we shall be discussing about the 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 housing, as in the dimensions, and we shall be discussing about how we prepare those feeds for those animals. Thank you very much. I think let me wish you the best. Bye.